Hello. It's almost time to guess the wrong drink again. Sounds good. KJ, Starry 40. Let's see, Joseph Wells, Smoker, Chris Helms, Jim Thompson, KJ, 74, Quayne Cody, Gregory G. Welcome. Jim Thompson says Fanta Orange 038. Alrighty, VMC, Starry 21. And Marsh, welcome. Dale Nottingham. Mark Spafford. See, Joseph put Dr. Pepper Cherry 16. And Mark Spafford put Mountain Dew 036. New Marshall Sprite 39. BH, welcome. Cream Soda 26. Dale says Pepsi 0. Joe says Mountain Dew 040. William, welcome. Sprite 038. Let's see. We have Fleabag says Fresca Black Cherry. David Canham is Fanta Orange 37. Mike Schley, Starry 040. Miani, Fresca Black Cherry 38. So, Greg, what we're doing is these are the drinks I have cold in my fridge. So you're guessing what you think I have. I've already got it out. And then you guess what you think is the oldest year in the box. If you get it correct, you get your name put on a wheel of names that throughout the night we do. And then at the very end of the night, when the stream nickel part ends, we spin that wheel, and whoever it lands on gets a copper round, one of my 1-ouncers. So I saw there was a few that, I think Fleabag, I just saw a drink. I didn't see a year. And I think there was someone else that I only saw a drink. So if you want to get those in, Fleabag says 36. Cap says Pepsi 36. Greg says Mountain Dew 045. And Jimmy says 7-Up Shirley Temple 35. 74, Black Cherry Fresca 26. Thomas Wells says 40. Did you have a drink, Thomas? I guess I might have missed your drink if you put one down. Chris Helms, Mountain Dew 039. I did not, Quayne Cody. Yes, KJ says yes 40, so we'll find buffaloes. Oh, they have tons of zero. I have more than that. That's not even in my fridge. This last time I picked up a Coke Zero Cherry Float. Not too bad. Coin Cody says Mountain Dew in 38. Garrett, I did not see yours, so throw that in there again. Thomas says Mountain Dew 0. Okay. And I'll run down the list here in a minute of everybody. Barks 36. Smoker, Fresca Peach 35. JC says Fresca Black Cherry 39. So right now with ones I've got for the years, so I'm going to read the people that I have the years down, the drinks that I have off separate. But if you hear your year, I have your name down. I have 74, BH, Cap, Chris Helms, Quinn Cody, Garrett, C, JC, Jim Thompson, Jimmy, Joe, Joseph Wells, KJ, Mike Schleis, New Marshall, Smoker, VMC, Yenny, Mark S, David, Ken Ham, Thomas Wells, William E, Fleabag, and Gregory G. So, hey, welcome Argent, Appeal, Lyle. So if you want to get one in, if you didn't hear your name, I must have missed you. Vincent, Mountain Dew 038. And let's see, anybody else? Michael Rose says Sprite 040. And if there's anybody in here that hasn't been in here before, just lurking, whatever, these are the drinks I have in my fridge that are cold. And I already have one. And we're guessing what you think I have. And also what the oldest coin in the box of nickels is going to be. If you get either or both, whatever, any of those right, you get your name on a wheel that goes throughout the night. And at the end of the nickel stream part, we spin the wheel, and whoever it lands on gets a 1 ounce copper round. Crafty, Dr. Pepper 34. So we have a bunch of chances throughout the night to get your name on that wheel. You do not have to be present to win, but you still do need to email me if you are the winner. Argent says Fresca Peach. And if you want to throw a year in, you're welcome to. AG, Mountain Dew 35. And you said 42, okay. So now I'll run down it again because we had a bunch of people and hopefully we can have them. So now I have AG74, BH, Captain Vic, Chris Helms, Queen Cody, Crafty, Garrett C, JC, Jim Thompson, Jimmy Lacari, Joe Minnick, Joseph Wells, KJ, Michael Rose, Mike Schleis, New Marshall, Smoker, VMC, Yenny, Mark S, David C, Thomas Wells, William E, Fleabag, Gregory G, Vincent, and Argent. And David Rubin. Dr. Pepper Cherry 041. And we do get giveaways at 25 likes, 50 likes, 75 when we get there. I see we have 25 likes. I'm assuming that should be good. So we're going to start a 25 like giveaway. That is a exclamation GAW. That will get you entered in. It'll be a live drawing. So that will get your name in for a 1 ounce round. I did update most of those rounds. There's 3 now that I don't have on there, but all the rest I have at least 1 of, I believe. So those are some of the options, and then of course I go through some other ones at the end of the night. Thomas Wells just subscribed. Very good. And let me make sure everybody's got points. If you don't have points, if you subscribe, you automatically get some. And then as you watch throughout the night, it adds points. I think it makes you be in here like 5 minutes or something before you can even start getting points. So subscribe and get instant points. But those are for games, the slots, the gamble, the adventure, 8-ball, all those sort of things. Exclamation GAW if you want in on that for anybody that's just come in. Right now I'm showing there's just over a minute left. So you still got plenty of time, but don't wait till the last second. We've got 37 viewers and only 30 likes. 20 more likes and we'll have a 50 like giveaway. So hopefully you hit the like, but you don't have to. Just like I say, I hope people subscribe. They don't have to. I am getting closer to that full monetization thing, but I do have my memberships, which is a searcher. The other ones, and that's the 99 cents. Or the supporter is 99 cents. Searcher is $2.99. Get you one of my channel stickers. One of these, and you can even get it upside down if you want. And then the hunter level, you get a magnet that looks just like it also. Hey. All right. Jim Thompson donated 10 memberships. Let's see who we got. We got Gregory, Argent, Dale, William, David, Fervids, Isaiah, Elizabeth, Shannon Smith, Roy Hathaway, and John Jacobs. So some of those may not be in here, but they are supporters that watch. So thank you again, Jim Thompson. I'm going to resume the entries because the time stopped. So give you another, I don't know, hey, Tim Ivans, 10 seconds or something to get your exclamation GAW. And then we will do that. Try it again, VMC. I do show you on there. So all right, now I've got 32 people on there. Hey, Brian Robinson. exclamation gauze going on. I'll give you a little bit to get entered. And if you haven't chosen your drink, you still got a minute or two to do that. And also, also the oldest coin of the nickel box. So get that in also. All right, exclamation GAW should be just about done. So let's get Brian Robinson, Dr. Pepper Cream Soda 37. And Tim Ivins, Pepsi 45. Okay. Come over to the... And I do have it on live chat, by the way. Hey, Martin Bowen. Since you just came in, exclamation GAW if you want in on the giveaway. Give you about 15 seconds to do that, and then we will draw. We're already at 30-something likes, so getting already close to 50. Hey, Larry Downing, welcome. And if you want to get your drink and name in, you are welcome to do that also. All right. We've got now 34 people, so we are going to close and pick. And the winner is Mike Schleiz. I think you've won before, so you know what to do. Send me an email with what you would like for your round. And I can always email that sheet to you, plus throughout the night. Same ones mostly as the other nights. But, yeah, there you go. Congratulations. All right. Excuse me. We had one winner. Shirley Temple 070. Yum. It's kind of like a cherry. It says cherry and pomegranate. It's pretty good. It was out at Christmas time, so some of those flavors only come out at seasonal. Hey, Mo Money Inc. If you want to get a year in, I haven't opened the box yet, so you can still get that in. I just picked one up the other day. It's the Coke Zero Cherry Float. My money says 39. Alrighty. That was Jimmy. Jimmy Licari was the only one with Shirley Temple that I saw. Any enders? I don't see any War or Buffalo enders or V-Nickels, unfortunately. Quite a few older looking ones, so that's good. It's exclamation points to see how many points, not coins. You can also do exclamation commands. That will show you all the different commands that you can use. such as !me, post your channel link. This box is for William E. He's got tonight and the next two after that. And I sent you an email, William. I keep picking my drink until you drink it. This is what I'm assuming it is. I cannot say it. Well, the other night we had barks, and then the next night after that, I did barks again and threw everybody off. And it wasn't because I was trying to, it was just that's what I felt like drinking that night. We're looking for 2009s, 2024s, any 50s or older. We do have the 25 or nickel bounty. So if you get the V nickel, a buffalo nickel, and a war nickel, you get the shield nickel. It is a coal, but you can see the 5 and the stars on it at that angle. On the back, you can see the shield a little bit. So even in cold condition, these things are $5 to $8. So that's just an extra bonus if you get all 3 in one box. All the memberships and donations and tips and all that stuff goes back into the stream. Pay for stuff like shipping and that sort of stuff. The rounds, things that I get. So for those that have tipped and donated and given memberships and everything, thank you very much. It is appreciated. As always, it's not required, but appreciated. It's a free channel, so you can sit there and lurk the whole night if you want. We are on roll 2. Just started. We already had the 25 likes before the box even opened, and we're already at 43 likes. Yeah, it's not too bad. On pennies, I have to like get up a little closer to them, but nickels and quarters, I can see fine on those. We got 47 watching and 44 likes. 6 more likes, and we'll do a 50 like giveaway. That'll be another copper round. It's free to enter. If you do win, I just need an email saying what you won, such as the 50 like, and what round you would like. I can always send a copy of that page. Plus, I go through them at the end of the night, so if you aren't here, excuse me, you can always go back and watch at the end the ones that I go through. When we get a nickel that we can put up for guessing, those are ones that are throughout the night, and if you get closest or directly on, you get your name on the wheel. And at the end of the night, everybody's name that is on the wheel gets a chance to win whatever the wheel lands on. I think tonight, like last night on B. Waller, if someone got it exactly on, they got a double entry if it was exactly on. And I think I might do the same thing. So if you hit it exactly on, we'll try it and see how it does. But If you get it exactly on, you'll get double your name. And I won a foreign proof last night from him. So if you don't know who B-Waller is, check him out when racing goes on. He does races. Anyway, okay. Sounds good. If you're the only one. So if multiple people hit it exactly on, then just one is what you're saying. That makes sense too. Races start second week of April. Nice. I don't have any coins, unfortunately, probably since I've been gone for a while. I don't have any. Can I get some, please? Yeah, do exclamation points, because I'm not showing you as having 0 or anything. But exclamation points, not coins. So try that. One of the mods can also add some, because for me it's not showing up, which means I was going to say, I know you subscribed, so you should have points, but Gregory, you have 10,214,985 points. Yenny has 10,018,300. And so as you gamble and stuff, you win points. It's just a fun thing. It doesn't buy you anything or anything like that. But if you do run out of points, which I don't think anybody's run out, but if you run out of points, myself or mods can always give you more. Like I said, when someone comes into the stream, I hunted halves and got 240s last night. Tried quarters and it was too tiring. I'll probably do another row of quarters tonight after the thing. I don't want to go too late because I still have to wrap some presents for my daughter's late birthday tomorrow. We're having it here. Last night she had it at home, so tomorrow she will have it here. So I still got to wrap those. I finished her, I shouldn't say cake. What I did is I made cupcakes. Half of the cupcake is strawberry, the other half is chocolate. Actually, it's just the other half of the strawberry that I just put some cocoa powder in. So it's a half and half cupcake. And then I put a pink buttercream on the top. And then I'm going to arrange them in a number 10 on a sheet pan. Leafies. I haven't gotten any Leafies, but I did get her the first Leafy book. Because I'd gotten the one for Christmas, and it was the second one. I wasn't paying attention, I guess. And so this, I was like, crap. So I went out and ordered a first book, which has all the earlier years. I have never bought a cake for my kids' birthday. I've always made them. I've made like when my son turned 10, I did a 1 and a 0 chocolate and made it into football. I think there we go. So this is one I did when she was 4. That was for her class. Made cupcakes, and I let her do all that. When my son turned 8, I did that one, and I put Matchbox cars on it. When he turned 7, I did cupcakes with just a big 7 and frosted them all. The ones I did for her is just going to be individual ones. That was my son, just made a number 6. For my birthday, daughter's 5th birthday, it was pink with a purple sugar 5. For my daughter's 6th, it was a number 6. I kind of messed it up, but oh well. And when he turned 9, I did a 6 plus 3 because he likes math. And for her, I think it was 7th birthday, it's a strawberry cake with a strawberry middle. I made like one of those strawberry jam fillings and put it in and made it into a heart. And then that was my son's 10th. And then her 8th birthday was an ice cream cookie. So I made the big cookies and then put ice creams and then mini chocolate chips on it and buttercream frosting. So that's what I did. So yeah, I'm not, like a perfect make it look great type cake, but I don't remember the cakes I made. I never had store-bought cakes growing up. But on my son's 12th birthday, Grandma actually made the cake for him because I was running behind. And she made a chocolate cake with a vanilla inside, kind of like one of those jelly roll cake type things. And so it was like an ice cream roll-up cake. Usually I make the buttercream, but I was just lazy this year, so I went to the bakery and bought a big bag. They were like, "Do you want it in a bag?" I was like, "Sure." So I just put the piping tips and stuff, and so I cheated. It only cost $4 a pound at the bakery to get buttercream icing. I brought it home and still did it a little better because I make mine extra fluffy. It's very kind of time consuming to do it the way I do it, but it makes it extremely light and fluffy. Almost kind of like whipped cream type frosting, but it's buttercream. So I bought it and then came home and kind of fluffed it up a bit and added some coloring and that sort of thing. I'm not the best baker because my problem is I don't like following directions very well. That's why I like cooking and grilling, is because I can just throw some of this in, throw some of that in, throw a can of this, throw some of this. Whereas baking, it's a little bit more scientific. But I'm still decent at it. Oops. It doesn't want to focus. It's a 2009. There we go. Haven't made a cake in years. Yeah, I've never cared about like birthday and Christmas and stuff much. The reason I put up a tree and stuff is for the kids. Otherwise, I'd be McScrooge and not have a tree or anything up. But I let them put it up and decorate it. And it seems like this is going to be one of those boxes where it starts out very, very slow and then picks up halfway through. Yeah. And my kids always help out in the kitchen. You know, even if it's as simple as just stirring something. Hey, there's another one. Number 2. And I like to get them instead of just, you know, a bunch of, I mean, I still get them stuff like Legos and things, but I get like my daughter, for example, I got her a candle making kit. I've gotten her a lip gloss kit. I've gotten her a rock tumbler, bath bomb kit, stuff like that. And my son, do you sift the cake before mixing? No, I just dump it in. I dump it in, I throw some eggs, and usually sometimes it's a box cake, sometimes it's scratch. Like this one, it was a strawberry cake mix. There's only one brand. Even on the other brands, you can't find them where I live. So there was only one brand to choose from. I think it was Pillsbury or something. But I dumped it in. I dumped 2 eggs, half a cup of oil, and a cup of water, and mixed it on medium speed for 2 minutes. Yes, it is. We're already on roll number 8 now. But I've made like from scratch stuff. Like we'll make homemade pizzas, and I have a kind of a quick rise yeast dough. From start to finish, it's less than an hour. And what I do is I put seasonings in the flour. So when I'm making the crust dough, I put like Italian seasonings and garlic powder and things like that in. So that way the crust is more than just bread. I have a cinnamon roll recipe that I've used for years. It's from start to finish, it's about an hour from the time you start to the time you put them in the oven. And they are very soft and fluffy. The one thing I do is I put extra cinnamon, and I love cinnamon. So I put, hey, Clotweb. So I always put like extra cinnamon stuff in it. When I make snickerdoodles, I don't just make the regular dough. I put a ton of cinnamon in the dough itself, and then a ton of cinnamon in the sugar rolling coating. And people are always like, oh man, these are so good. Like, I just figured it'd be another, regular cinnamon. My fluffy secret. So you have room temperature butter, and you put that in, and then you put, I just use like a big spoon, kind of like a, not even it's probably like one of those bigger spoons that you'd use for stirring something, but hard to explain. Probably is a couple tablespoons worth that you can put in that big spoon. And I put a spoonful of powdered sugar in, and then I mix it for a minute or two on high, get a bunch of air fluffed into it, and then you add another spoonful of sugar. Helps the medicine go down, as Mary Poppins would say. And you just do that, and then you add another thing. You'll end up adding a little bit of milk, of course. And I also put a big splash of vanilla. I like vanilla, so I always put a big splash. I don't even measure it. But yeah, you just do that, get it fluffy, really fluffed up, and then throw another spoon of powdered sugar in, get it fluffed up. Do it again, and it takes quite a while, but it is extremely fluffy. Number 3. So that's why I was like, I just don't feel like doing it this year. Plus, by the time you bought the butter, I mean, I already have butter, but if you factor in, you'd have the cost of the butter and the powdered sugar and all the time, it was like I can get a pound of it for $4, and I think I used about 1.5 pounds because they gave me like 2 pound, about 2 pounds in a big bag, piping bag. But of course I added coloring and stuff to it, so it cost me $8, and I used maybe $6 worth. I still have a bunch left, and of course that's always good, is to eat it with graham crackers. You get it out and softened a bit, and then you take graham crackers and you scoop it up and eat it as a treat. Not very healthy, but very good. 10 rolls. Of course. For those members, you can use some of those emojis and maybe get a buffalo to appear, or a war appear, or something. Yeah, kind of sifting or airing, putting air into the dough does help. One thing I've always found, and I'm not like a great, like I said, baker, biscuit maker, but I can make them okay. But you use, like if you're doing pie crust and stuff, you grate frozen butter on a cheese grater, and you grate it up and put it into the flour. And the cold butter is what helps make it good, because it kind of like on a croissant, you have all the butter in between all the layers, and then it bakes and melts and has fluff in it. But just grating the frozen butter helps out a ton. I never use like room temperature butter to make them. That's the thing with my channel. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get pictures of me in my Halloween costume with my kids. Tonight you got pictures of cakes I've baked. And most people, if they're around, usually at the end of the stream, you know, I open some like quarters or halves or something. But my kids usually call me about 8:50 or 8:55 or so, right before 9. And so I always mute the channel. So everybody that's in here knows that I'm not just... Sometimes you get buffalo nicknames. Yep, sometimes you do. Sometimes you get a few. So I always just mute it, and so everybody that's in there by that time usually knows. That taunts cakes. Well, you have to change the taunts to something with an H, so that way I can keep the DHC. I've taken like my cinnamon rolls into work before, and people be like, "Man, you made these?" And it's like, Dad hunts cakes. And it's like, yeah, these are so good. I'm like, thank you. So a lot of my stuff I do just like, you know, for dinners and stuff, like casseroles and stuff. And I don't, of course, use any recipe. It's like, are you going to use, what kind of starch? Are you going to use rice or noodles or potatoes? Then it's what kind of veggies do you want to put in? Mixed veggies, peas, corn. And then what kind of other mix-ins, like, you know, cream of mushroom soup or whatever. And then I usually throw, of course, some like sour cream, some cheese, you know, just casserole stuff. And my kids had gone over to Grandma's one time, and she said something about, what'd you guys eat? And they said, Dad made a casserole and it is so good. He needs to keep that recipe. My mom's like, you used a recipe? I'm like, no. No, I would consider myself a little more west than Midwest. I grew up in Wyoming. Now I live in southern Utah. But there's a lot of casserole influence in that area and growing up. And chicken breast, cubed them, added those, rice-a-roni. Yeah, it's funny where you go. Like in Utah, they have one, they call it funeral potatoes. And it's really good. It's just a potato casserole. It's just very yummy. It's kind of like a potatoes and cheese and gooey and yummy. But that's, like I said, that's why I like cooking better, is because that way I don't have to measure and actually follow directions. Tater tot hot dish, yeah. Of course, growing up, we would make things like we would have taco salad, and Mom would call it toxic salad, because then we were more likely to eat it if you called it something weird and kind of strange. So we never had taco salads, we had toxic salads. I've only found 3 1964 Denvers also. Homemade chicken pie, yeah. When I was married, I used to do mini chicken pot pies. What you do is you use a can of like the blow up biscuits, whatever they're called. And so you kind of flatten them out a bit, and then you put them in a cupcake tin. And the filling, I just, would cook up some chicken or hamburger or whatever, and throw in some like cream of mushroom soup and some mixed vegetables, just all the stuff you'd find in a chicken pot pie. Usually it was cubed up chicken breast. And then, mix it all together, and you put it inside the dough that you've flattened out and put into the cupcake tin, and then you fold the dough up and you pinch all the sides and seal it all up together, and then you bake them. And after they're baked and they come out, they're like mini pot pies. Kids liked them because, they're mini, make mini things, and people are always like, yeah. Well, at least kids are. If you make mini paychecks, people don't go, yeah. Like for Valentine's Day, my sister and nieces and nephew were up here, and so my kids, of course, hung out with them the entire time over at Grandma's. But we made, most people call them like those kind of fluffy sugar cookies. And I always have to say fluffy because some people think sugar cookies, they think those like kinds that snap, hard ones. But we always called them, well, I always called them pumpkin cookies, because Mom would make them at Halloween in the shape of a pumpkin. So one time she was, what kind of cookies do you want? I'm like, pumpkin cookies. So she's like, yep, okay. She made them. I'm just like, yeah, we ate them. Next time, what kind of cookies? I'm like, pumpkin cookies. And she's like, okay. So she made like chocolate chip or something. Well, came Valentine's Day, and she was making them. I'm like, pumpkin cookies, yes. And she's like, oh, pumpkin cookies. Because they were pumpkins. We finally have one. There we go. So my mom, of course, growing up, she knew them as Martha cookies, because the next door neighbor, Martha, is the one that she learned to make them from. And so she learned them as Martha cookies, and of course I learned them as pumpkin cookies. So that's one of those things that every generation can kind of come up with their own thing for the same recipe. And another one out of this roll we get a guess. Finally, our first guessing. Yeah, Argent, if you want to withdraw your 44 and put a new one in, because a 44 would be a war nickel, and this is not a war nickel because there is no large mint mark above the Monticello. War nickels are going to be 42, 3, 4, and 5 are the only years those would be. So that's one thing we do, is we try to notice things like that and let people know, hey, you might change it. Same thing if it's a war nickel, someone might go, 52. And it's like, nope, it's only going to be a 42, 3, 4, 5. So we try to make it fun and people learn and that sort of thing. All right. Get the last few guesses in and then we'll flip it, because we'll have another one to guess after this. Thank you, Coin Cody. Now, if you notice, there is no mint mark, I don't believe. I think it's just a spot, because it's not raised, it's just dark. I know, because it's weird, because it makes it look like a D. Doesn't really matter though, but it's because it is a 48, and a 48S would have been a semi-keyed 8. All right, there's your new guess there. I'll get this one on the board. And then we'll see who got it. Then we'll do it if got Fleabag and Mark. So let's go with KJ's way of doing it tonight, and if you get the only one with the exact date, you get double entries. So for example, if Fleabag or Mark had chosen something else, then only one of them would have had it. They would have got their name on the wheel twice. And that's like me, even I'll look at names and totally miss someone, and one of the mods or someone will be like, VMC also or something. I'll be like, oh, yep, you're right. So I appreciate everybody that helps me out and lets me know if I missed someone or something like that. All right. Thank you, Coin Cody. Should be enough time. I better see your discount entry. Maybe. It's a 57. 1957. Anybody get 57 exact? Got 58, 56, 58, 56. So it's like 58s and 56s. Got a few of those. So 58, we got David Rubin. And then 56, we had Fleabag. And 58, we had 74. And 56, we had Smoker. So David, Fleabag, 74, and Smoker would be 1 year on each side. And on this, it's not like The Price is Right, so it's either side. If it is a Price Right thing, like when VMC donated the round, and it was you had to be under whatever the generated number was. I think tonight we'll do a halftime. Clean Cody says 50 likes. All right. Not even roll 18 isn't even finished, so that's not too bad of a start. 50 likes is open for entry, exclamation GAW, exclamation GAW. Stands for giveaway. So William E. has donated a few extra rounds from his box hunts. So we'll probably give those away throughout a couple different nights. And tonight we'll do a halftime. And it will be, I don't know. We're debating, do we do the wheel as a separate wheel? Do we do last man standing on the wheel? Or do we just do a exclamation GAW? Exclamation GAW. That's what I'm trying to decide on, which halftime way we're going to do it. Kind of leaning towards everybody that's in there can enter and put their name on the wheel, a separate wheel, and then it's last man standing. Name's not showing. Well, let's take a look. VMC, and no, I do not see you on there. So try it again. Jim Thompson, you were the very first one in. Mark Spafford. You're right there. Yeah, I'm not seeing you, VMC. So try it again. Let me open that back up. Now that I've opened it back up, it might register you. Because right now we got Jim, Smoker, Brian R, Garrett C, Jimmy, AG, BH, William E, and Marsh 74, MLN, Joe, Minute, Yenny, Money, KJ, JC, David R, Michael R, Thomas W, Joseph W, Tim Ivans, Killing Cody, Gregory G, Fleabag, Mark S, Chris H, Crafty, Cat Vic, Argent, and VMC. So, there you go. You're already in there, Cap. It only lets you enter one time, so. 10 times fast. Jim, Smoker, Brian R, Garrett C, Jimmy, AG, BH, William, E, N, March, 74, MLN, Joe, Minnick, ENE, Mo Money, KJ, JC, David R, Michael R, Thomas W, Joseph W, Tim, Queen Cody, Gregory G, Fleabag, Mark S, Chris H, Crafty, Jacap Vic, Argent, VMC, Ellis, Alyssa, and Billy. There you go. I could try it faster, but then I have to scroll it up, and that's when I kind of lose my spot. So, all right, I think everybody should have enough time to get in, even though I didn't read it slow. 50 likes winner is, and you can only win one regular GA, Smoker. You know what to do. You've won before. And again, I can send you the kind of updated one I have, or you can wait till the end of the night. And as I go through some of them, congratulations. We've had 50 likes now. We've had 10 new members. Thank you, Jim Thompson, for that 10-member donation. All the revenue after YouTube takes their share all goes back into the channel, helps out with the shipping and things like that. I shipped out 10 envelopes, gauze and stuff from last week, and sent 3 packages. You guys should have received an email saying there's your tracking number. I did them Saturday. The one I was sending to BH for some reason didn't go to his email until Sunday, or Sunday. So the very latest it would have gone out is today when they accepted it, but I gotta see. There's one that is probably my biggest one I've sent so far. That's 74. So yours will be coming in a box and inside a black poly mailer. I double poly mailed it just to make sure it didn't rip open. Plus I wrapped the stuff inside pretty well. So I did not want those things bouncing around and things like that. So sorry if it takes you a bit to get into it. It was only 5 pounds or something, like 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Little over, it wasn't quite 5.5 pounds. But yeah, it was. I was like, dang. There you go. You can get guesses in. I've got some stuff set off to the side for a few people that asked me to hold on to it for just a little bit, which I'm willing to do. Some people, I understand, want to get stuff right away, and other people are like, just keep it because I'm going to get more and accumulate things and then just ship it all at once. I do offer the layaway program, as I guess you'd call it. If there's some stuff that you want, you are welcome to have me set it aside. Just a small deposit, even if it's $5, just to kind of hold it and show that you're serious about actually buying and not just say hold it off to the side. Because I have one person I still haven't heard back from, and it's been a month. So I'm going to put that stuff back into rotation. I've sent an email, I haven't responded. So yeah, it'll make a great unboxing for you. Like I said, it's I wrapped 3 of those each in bubble wrap, so there's 3, 3, 3, and then 2, and then a couple packs of coins and some rounds, 1 ounce rounds. And I threw your sticker and magnet in there. Yeah, I sent an email and I said, I've still got this stuff. Are you still wanting me to hold it or not worry about it? And that individual, it's been 3 days and I have not heard. I saw them in another stream and I asked them and they didn't respond to me in the stream. I don't know, maybe if they just didn't see it or not, but it's one of those that I'm going to assume they either forgot or not interested. But there was some, like, Gatita was getting some things and sent $10 to hold it. And so I held it for a while, and then once it's completed, then I send it off. And the worst I would do is just refund the $10 if you decided to change your mind or something. Like I said, if it's something, you know, even $5, I'm willing to do it for like that. If you're a good subscriber and a member, you know, you get boxes and you don't want to hold some stuff out for a bit, that's fine too. You know, you don't have to put anything extra down because you've already bought boxes or something. So I'm pretty easy going. Thank you, Jimmy Cody. There is no mint mark, but it is a 39. 39D and 39S are both key dates. There is no semi-key date for a 39 Philly. All right, let's see. 39. Do we get anybody? I got 46. I think the 46s are the closest ones. $46 for Billy and Joseph W. Those are the closest ones at 46, so 7 years off, you still got it. But yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm pretty easygoing and laid back, and willing to work with people, and it's like I had stuff for BH, and instead of multiple people sending packages to Canada, I just said, just send to me, and I'll send it up there with his, and it added just a little bit extra postage, and so instead of $12.99, it was $14.99. But because he has other stuff, there'll be another package because stuff's still coming. But I've done that where people have sent me stuff to send to a member, because that way it just only has to be sent one time instead of me send it to them and then them send it to someone. We're on roll 25, so we'll do a halftime here in just a second. And this round is donated by William E. Took some of his rounds and donated some. I figure I'll just do them through a couple nights. And okay. So this is going to be everybody that puts in wheel will go on the wheel, and then we'll do a last man standing on that wheel. We got KJ, BH, Lyle, 74, Brian R, Jim, BMC, Lisa, Joey, Joseph, Newmarsh, Vincent, MLN, BH, Thomas, BMC, JC, Crafty, Yenny, Glenn Cody, Cap, Mike, Mark, Mike S, Greg, Billy, David R, Jimmy. David C. And Marsh. And it'll be on this wheel. So I'm going to run down these. I have KJ, BH, Lyle, 74, Brian R, Jim T, VMC, Alyssa, Argent, William E, Joey, Joseph W, New Marsh, Vincent, only it's B, MLN, BH, Thomas W, VMC, JC, Crafty, Glee Bag instead of Flea Bag, Yenny, Queen Cody Cat, Michael R, Mike S, Mark S, Greg, Billy, David R, Jimmy, David C, and Marsh. Okay. And since I'm feeling like it, I'll fix that. And we'll fix Vincent. So this is last man standing. We have everybody on it, looks like. Maybe I shouldn't have corrected Fleabag. KJ is off the wheel. VMC, you're off the wheel. Mark Spafford, you're off the wheel. Cap, you're off. Gregory's off. See, this one didn't say how many names are on there, but... Aw, William E., you did not win your own round. It would have been funny. Oh, that's like right on the line, but it says it's Jimmy that's off. Mike S. Slides. Vincent's off. It'll be Michael. Yenny. Guessing Joseph. Guessing. No. Crafty. I was going to say Crafty, and I'm like, I guess it's going to be Joseph. And then I'm like, nope, it ended up being Crafty. So. And Marsh, I'm betting. Oh, BH, you're off. I don't know why it says remove all instances. I only see... Oh, I guess you were on there twice. Don't know how I got you on there twice, but... You get up and I kick you off the wheel. Jim Thompson donated 10 memberships, and he is off the wheel. Joey's off. David, down to 12 names. BH has permanent spot. JC. Brian. You got a 10% chance of getting off the wheel. Oh, Coin Cody, you were that 10%. Now you have an 11% chance of getting off the wheel. Argent, you're gone. 1 and 8. $74. Maple Leaf. 1 and 6. Lyle. See, now if your name's off the wheel, it's kind of like a commercial at halftime. You can get up and go to the bathroom or warm up a hot dog. Thomas. 25% chance of getting off the wheel. Alyssa's off. 33% chance. All right. Whoever's name it lands off on, the other person gets it. So if it lands on Newmarsh, David R wins. If it lands on David, Newmarsh wins. And the winner is New Marshall. New Marshall, halftime wheel winner. All right. Congratulations. Condolences for the other ones. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to add Jimmy for getting the drink of the night. I think it was Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy. So, Jimmy, I've now added your name on. So, you're the only one that got the drink. Right now, we're sitting at Chris Helms, JC, Mo Money, New Marshall, all being tied for oldest of the box. Because 39 is what we have found, and you guys had 39. And as usual, I'll go through all the rounds at the end of the night. So if you do end up having to leave, you can always go back and watch that last little bit, or if you know what you want, you can tell me. Does Jimmy get 2 entries for being the... No, I just did the one. But we should. Maybe that's the new rule. If you're the only one that gets something, such as drink of the night, or oldest of the year, or correct guess, you get 2. Good idea. Jimmy says, Fleabag, I like that idea. So Jimmy, I put you on again because you were the only one that was able to guess it. Kind of a slow box for the first 26 rolls. 130s, 140s, 150s, and 309. There's something wrong with the wheel? Your name's not on it? I don't know. I don't remember who I put on the wheel. Kind of sounds like I don't remember who I put in timeout. Only the wheel is a good thing. But I'm hoping we get another run of boxes that were like the other, what was it, 3 in a row, that one a couple weeks ago? One with all the buffaloes and more nickels and everything. Last Thursday I thought it was going to be quite a skunk. I was prepared to give out an extra V-nickel. Then ended up getting a few things. It should have, Brian. Everything from last week I sent out today. So if it was last Monday or last Thursday, it went out in today's mail. So I'd have to look and see when you won, but once in a while things get lost or whatever. Jim Thompson had 2 rounds in an envelope and went missing. And a month later, they ended up getting it, and it was torn in half, but the rounds were still in there. Because I asked him if both were in there, and he said, yep. So me using that extra tape kept it from being lost. That's a members only post, so I think I've shown it on here before, but and then the funny thing is I sent him another one, and that one arrived just fine. I had put 2 in it because I was like, well, I'll replace one of them. I couldn't remember that there was, I didn't remember that there was 2. But I threw an extra round in on that one, and then it was like a day or two later, he's like, hey, look what showed up. Literally ripped in half. Let's see. So it was in this. They put it in an envelope on this thing. And then all ripped up. Rip, rip, rip. It was like that. And you can see right here and right here, those rounds that still ended up being taped up, even though it ended up like that. Yeah, it's like the only thing I can figure is they didn't pay attention to the big red stamped non-machinable, meaning they don't put it through a machine. You're supposed to cancel it by hand stamp so that it doesn't rip up in the machines. That's okay. Like I said, I'd sent, when I'd sold a bunch of my 2025 Denver halves, I had sent 4 boxes, and they arrived in 3 different days. And then I sold my 2025 Denver nickels, and that took almost 3 weeks to show up. And it was only going to Oregon, I believe, or Washington. I think it was Oregon. But it took them a priority mail package. Took 3 weeks to finally arrive. And it wasn't going out east when all those big storms were going. It went to Vegas. Well, first it spent 4 days here, and then it all of a sudden appeared in Vegas, supposedly an hour and a half later, which is impossible unless they took a super jet, because Vegas is a 3.5 hour drive, just driving. So I don't know how it could have got there in an hour. Then it bounced around in Vegas, besides that 24, for over a week. Went back and forth between a bunch of facilities. Then it finally left and went to somewhere up in Portland or something. And then literally it was like 3 weeks after I had sent it, it finally arrived. This last time I sold 4 boxes of 2025 Denver halves. And I shipped it out, and it went down to Phoenix area, I think it was. And it got there in 4 days. It was tried to deliver Saturday, but the person wasn't there to sign for it because it required signature delivery. So no one was there to sign for it, so it was delivered today. Otherwise, it would have been there in would have been the 5th day it was delivered. I've ordered some stuff. It came from California, came to Salt Lake, bounced around in Salt Lake for like 3 or 4 days, went back to California for 3 or 4 days, came back to Salt Lake for another 3 or 4 days, then it finally came down to me. It's like, just because I can't take a trip, my package could. So when I sell stuff on eBay, I tell them, here's your stuff, just to warn you. A lot of times the first tracking does not appear until it appears in Vegas. And I don't know what the glitch is or anything, but sometimes when they scan it here, it does not register until Vegas gets it. Then all the information comes piling in. Because our closest mail center is for the hub or whatever is Vegas. Most people think, but you're in Utah, it would go to Salt Lake. Yeah, Salt Lake's 5.5 hours. Vegas is 3.5. So you never know. Thank you, Coin Cody. It's a 52. The hint with these is they're almost always going to be in the 50s or older. If oh, perfect. I was going to say I saw Joey right there, but we got Cap and Joey. Congratulations, you two. So it's funny that well, I shouldn't say it's funny, but it's ridiculous that it's taking longer and longer, costing more and more, and getting worse and worse. Like I was telling BH that now that they've lost the Amazon contract that was $6.5 billion worth, it'll probably get even worse. Because now they're going to be like, oh, we have to raise prices 843%. Now that we lost $6 billion contract, we're going to have to make it up out of the 6 people that actually use the mail service. I do show the tracking is showing that it's on its way for my package, that it was sent and then it left whatever the hub was, and then can't remember where it's at now, but I think it arrived in Vegas. Can't remember. But I still use Pirate Ship because it saves a bunch of money. Last year, I think it said I saved $200 something by using Pirate Ship. So for me, when it was looking at it, that's why I bought the thermal label printer with thermal labels, because it was, I don't know, about 40 bucks or something for a label printer when it was on sale. And I'm like, I can just do it on Pirate Ship, print it out, stick it on, and just drop it in the mail at work. And I don't have to worry about going down and standing in line and doing all that crap. So that's one of my biggest things that I'm glad I did, was bought a thermal printer. Like I said, it wasn't expensive. I mean, some of them out there are hundreds of dollars. I found mine on sale for like 40 bucks. It was orange. I didn't care. I'm not looking at it. It's actually underneath this, underneath it on one of the shelves. So it's not like I'm sitting there staring at it every day, unless I stick my head underneath, which I don't usually do. So for me, it was like, I don't care what it looks like, as long as it works. And the reviews were pretty decent. I think it was like 4.2 stars or something, which half the time you can't really trust, because sometimes you get those brushing ones or whatever where they send crap to people and then write fake reviews. That's why you kind of have to be careful. And on some of them, it'll say this review is because of, Vine or whatever the stupid thing is, where they pay people and say, here's one of our products. Tell us what you think. And of course, someone's going to go, well, if I say yes, they'll keep sending me products. So yeah, this thing was great. It could have been the biggest piece of garbage there was. So if you ever see that, those I steer usually well aware of, because if they're paying people to use a product to review it, of course that person is going to be saying, yeah, because they're probably like, well, if you want more, you've got to give us good reviews. I'd be one of those. If someone sent me something, I'd use it, I'd review it, and give my honest opinion. So you'll see that with a lot of channels, I guess, get crap sent to them, and they'll want, hey, will you plug our brand? We'll send you this. And I know there's a lot of channels that are like, nope. Like, you can send it to me and I'll give an honest review. And hey, Pa. That would be good. How's your foot doing? Hopefully it's been getting better. I know you've had to use that scooter thing. And someone can do exclamation paw and it'll put his channel up there. I made one specifically for him because I have one on his that's exclamation DHC. Thank you, Billy. I'm sure most of you have been there, but check out Paw's channel. As you can see, I'm using his mat. Love that. Some of you, if you aren't familiar, he hunts with his grandsons. He does usually $half, but sometimes he'll do nickel hunts. Sometimes they'll do wars, where they'll see whose box is better. He'll do dollar bill hunts. He's got a lot of good content from all those years. Dr. Tamara following the Achilles. We'll see what she has to say. Nice. It's one of those things that, I'm sure you'd know, but following the doctor's orders is always the best. Like when I had my neck fused. I had to be in a brace 24/7 except for showering or getting dressed or undressed. Other than that, oh yeah, Grammy's cookies. He does a fundraiser every year for AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And now that I stream, this last one I had just barely gotten started, but it was, I gave away a free box hunt to anybody that donated a certain level or higher. And hopefully this year we'll be able to do the same thing. And also, now that I can do super chats and super stickers and all that, if we have one of those streams, everything on that stream will be donated. That comes in. Yeah, being in a neck brace 24/7. Oh, I miss mom and pop penny boxes. Yeah, this year I wouldn't be able to do any penny boxes because I can't get pennies. They cut me off in September. But at that time I still had some, so I was able to still offer the ones I had. But this year it'll probably be nickel box hunt. Figure something out with how things go. I've hit and miss on getting big shipments of nickels. Sometimes, I tell them order me 4 and they get 1, and sometimes they get 4. So I never know what I'm going to get. Thank you, Pa. Appreciate all your support. I did send stickers and magnets to you guys for your hunter level. I figured give one to Hudson and everybody, and since they're part of your channel. But I sent that while you were in Mexico, I think, so. All right. The 40s are going, nope, 90s or 50s. You're not getting past me. I'm going to be a 46. The 09s are still ahead. Go figure. All right, let's see. 46. Anybody get it? Oh, KJ and VMC. Who else? Anybody? Joseph. And Brian. So KJ, VMC, Joseph W, and Brian R. Oh, Jimmy too? Oh, yep. Thank you. I don't know how I missed that. And Jimmy also. I only have one camera set up, so they're not spying on me. If they put up a spy camera, then they'll just have a great laugh consistently just seeing me. See you, Argent. Thanks for coming, and congrats on getting that member level from Jim Thompson. Thank you. I stream every Monday and Thursday at 5:30 Mountain. Yes. Thank you, Jim. Jim's been an awesome supporter. Donated quite a few memberships, and not just tonight, but other nights. And done tips. What's funny is I haven't got as many super chats, which is completely fine because the tip way is more money in my pocket. Well, DHC's channel. Because YouTube takes 30% of everything that is done. So if it's a membership, if it's a tip, if it's whatever, or a super chat, 30% is instantly going to YouTube. But still, 70% is better than nothing. But the tip way, it's processing fees. So I think like on the $10 tip a couple of weeks ago, I had a couple of them. And those $10 I paid 84 cents. So I guess it was 8.25% or 8.4%, but still 84 cents out of 10 is better than 7 or 3 out of 10. But I don't know if super chats count towards the stream boss. I know the regular tips do. Memberships don't. I think it was last stream that Jim sent a tip, and then 74 sent a tip, and 74 ended up getting knocked into Stream Boss. Good thing that was face down, because I was like, ooh, I think that's an old one. Flipped it over, and it was. There you go. So I'm going to have to go through a bunch of my old stuff, because a lot of times I would pull things off to the side and just stick them in a bag to look at them later, like 75 Ds for the high Ds and 64 Denvers and stuff like that. I think I'll have to pull them out and start going through them and see if there's anything. There are a couple things I wouldn't mind sending for grading. I got a 64 DDO, or a 65 quarter DDO, and I have a 64 D over D. There's a few. Some of them it's not worth sending, obviously, but I think I would have to send it to someone else to do it, because a membership for me just isn't going to make sense. Because on those companies, you have to be a member, and then it's like if I was sending lots of them off, that would make sense, but no. And I know you can take them to places, or you can send them to someone that does have a membership that sends them in, like, say, Southern Mail or something that would be sending stuff in. Sometimes they'll take other people's things and get it back, send it in and then send it back to me. But I don't know, just depends on how much the shipping to the person and back and everything is. And I'm a numbers guy, and it's like I knew I was sending another package to BH, so I talked with them, and I took 3 rounds out to bring it under the 1 pound level, and knocked $4 off of shipping, so I'll just include those 3 with the other stuff. It's another 46. Let's see, 46s. Anybody? 40, 41. Oh, Jimmy got a 46. Is Jimmy the only one with a 46? You get your name twice. Congratulations. But you never know, because some people have had their name on the wheel 10 times and don't win, and other people have won and they do win. So you never know the fate of the wheel. After this one, there will be 8 more rolls left. First time you ever won, you only had one name. There you go. And then this roll has one. So we'll finish this one up and then put the new roll in. Unwrap this and then we'll flip it. And this one was 1956. So let's do 50s. Got another one. And I'll let JC in because I saw it come in before I'd flipped the date. So 56. We had 54. Oh, Lyle had 56. Was Lyle the only one? Nope, and Marsh. Oh, well, you mean too. Okay. Hey, Isaiah Moses. You were given a membership. Jim Thompson donated 10 memberships, and you... Yeah, I got William on there now. Were one of the recipients. So you now have emojis and stuff to play with. And after tonight, I think I should have enough so I can get some more emojis, because you have to have so many subscribers to get emojis, and I think I needed a 2 or something to get to the next one. Yeah, if you mess up and you want to change your date, just please go back and retract the wrong one. That way it doesn't get overlooked or accidentally counted or something like that. I find that's the easiest thing, is just go in, put your new one, and retract your old one. Hey, Night Gregory. Congrats on the membership level. Yeah. Perfect timing. All right. Now there's a mint mark. It's a D, I think. Yep. If it was a S, that would have been a semi-keyed 8. But it was not an S, it was a D. It wasn't doubled. So 1949. I see AG right away with it. And Jimmy. Is that the only ones? Yeah, that's what I got. Thank you for verifying. Well, let's find a buffalo. Or even a war. How about a V? Hey, you can copy each other, I don't care. It is not a test. It is a game. I would like a buffalo too. Yeah, see, if you pick a buffalo year, then you have a better chance of getting on the wheel, because right now, 39 is the oldest. And there's 4. And yes, if it's a dateless buffalo, I put everybody that guessed buffalo year on the wheel. I could say, oh, it has to be if you were 1920 or under, or half of it, you know. What's 38 minus 13? 25, so, you know, 1925 or older or something. Got another one. You get to guess. And if you haven't gotten on the wheel at the very end, I put everybody on the wheel that wants it. Yeah, it's one of those things that some nights people get every single thing right, it seems like, and other nights those same people can't get the date to save their life. All right, see, we're kind of slowing down. Are we getting down to where we should flip it? I'll let Fleabag in. We've got another 1940. I think I saw two with 1940. Brian R. and David Rubin. At least that's what I saw. I was trying to kind of watch it as it came in, so I had a better idea of which ones had it. And I saw one, I was like, oh, one person's getting it. And then Brian put his, and then I was like, oh, well, one person is not getting it. Nice thing is there's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 64Ds that are really decent condition. Not that that means it's going to be a good, yeah, D over D, but if it is, it'll be much better. Because sometimes they are beat to crap. They're not worth grading or anything like that. I don't even know what they sell for in, like, say, an AU or a... Yeah, it makes it easier to see if it's not beat up. Just out of curiosity. Let's go to PCGS, look at a Jefferson nickel. A 64 D over D. Wow. With PCGS, a 64 D over D, if it's in like a 55, it's $90. 60, it's 125, and then it goes to 258, 4,500, and 22,500. Not too bad. I would guess most of them would probably be in the 55 area if they're really good looking. Although you can find AU or MS sometimes. But again, you have to factor in, you got to send it in, get it graded, pay for the membership if you don't have one. That's why I figure I'll start accumulating things to maybe send in, and then maybe someday do one. Because most of the stuff I find is not worth like really grading. You'd spend what, 30 bucks or 40 bucks or so to get it graded with varieties and attribution and things. And although I guess NGC could be less, Annex, you can get those. They'll do more varieties than PCGS. They'll only do the recognized ones. Annex will do way more than PCGS does. So sometimes it's worth sending to them to at least get it kind of verified and slabbed. Can't remember whose video I was watching. I think it's one of the subscribers. But they were going through the different things of which coins they would, you know, they had some on the table, and they were like, this one I would send PCGS, this one I would do like NGC, this one I would do an Annex, that sort of thing. I always say Annex. I know it's Annex, A-N-A-C. I always say it Annex, like I'm annexing something. So hopefully I saved that video because it was actually pretty good. I'm pretty sure it was one of the subscribers. Yeah, some of those no-name companies, I mean, they'll slab anything. You give them a dog turd and they'd slab it probably. But at least PCGS and NGC are reputable. Annex isn't bad. It's not the best, but it's just a lower tier that if you have something from them, it's just not going to be worth as much, even in the same grade and everything is one in the same grade and everything is PCGS or NGC. But sometimes it's one of those that's worth sending in to get it at least slabbed, even if it's not worth a ton, you know, something that is showing that it's like genuine, because sometimes there's a lot of fakes out there and things of certain years. And like I said, some companies will grade pretty much anything. Is roll 50 a buffalo or something? Yeah, I think the reason is because some of them will pretty much grade or slab any single thing, even if it's, nothing ever known. Some people will go that route, try to save a buck, but it's like, you have to look at, is someone going to buy it because it says it's this? Or are they going to buy it because the company is reputable. Like IGC or something, they'll slab, I think it's ICG, they'll like slab anything. It's a world coin, they'll slab it. It's a whatever, they'll slab it. Wow, wow. 1, 6, 9, 12, 13 finds. Hey, Super N. Although we do have some 64 Denvers to go through. Maybe we'll find a good variety. This is one that's decent, but no. I have found one D over D for a subscriber and one possible D over D. I wasn't 100% sure, so I just included it. So they are out there. And I have found one for myself. So there's another one that's a pretty good one. I guess I've got, I think, 4 of them. And the last one that's in pretty decent condition. Nope. So it's like, why can't one of those be an instant, able to see it, no problem, not beat up, but you never find them in that. All right. We had 39, 1, 40s, 5, 50, 3, 09, 3, 24, a 1. So 24 and 3 2009s make it pretty good. A 39, and it is not the DRS, so it's not a key date. 40s, we had a 1940, a 49, non-key date, a 46, a 46, and a 48, non-key date, or semi-key date. So 40, 2 46s, a 48, and a 49. 50s, 56, a 52, and a 57. For me, didn't feel like a super great box. So I'm going to throw in $1,900. It's a worn one. It still shows the V on it. A little more worn on the back, but it's full date. So, kind of a, like I said, a little bit of a consolation. going to call it a semi-skunk. Because the 04s and 9, or 09s and 24, kind of help make up for it. But without those, it would have been a... You know, if there was a key date or a war nickel or a buffalo nickel, it would have been like, oh, okay. But, yeah. So hopefully that is good for you, William. All right. We're only at 58 likes. We'll say it's the end of the stream part, or the nickel part. I already tore it up. I always rip both sides off, and then I rip the sides, and then I have that. And that way I only have to deal with that. All right, let's do this part. Welcome, Tyler. Glass, we are putting names on the wheel for a drawing for a 1 ounce copper round. So if you want to, type wheel. But if you want in glass, you got to type wheel. And that was my drink tonight. I'm going to run down the list here. Hopefully I have everybody. Let's find where I was. There we go. I have Brian R., David R. Oh, wrong one. Let's see, Brian R., Billy KJ 74, Garrett C., Joseph W., Crafty, BH, Cap, Lyle, Fleabag, Mike S., VMC, Joey, David C., Queen Cody, Mark N. Marsh, Thomas W., AGN, we already got in Marsh, William E., Tyler, Jimmy, Marcus, Yenny, Vincent, David, Elissa, again, if you want in glass, just type in wheel. Chris H. Okay. David. All right. Since I don't see anybody else, we've got 56 names, so not a great night because we didn't find a lot of stuff. Oh, we got to get the oldest of the box also. So let me add those in. Whoa. Dang it. And it was 1939, so we had Chris H., JC, Mo Money, New Marshall, Michael Rose wants on. I probably did, so I'll trust you, and Marsh. All right, did anybody else come in and get a wheel typed that I didn't see? I don't think so. All right. As usual, when DHC gets upright and quits visiting Australia or Antarctica, I guess whichever one. Billy. There you go. You won. See how many times you were on there? 62. You were on there twice. Give to Garrett for his birthday. Okay. And Garrett, I have that In God We Trust round for you. I assume you still want that one. I think Garrett gave Billy his win for a birthday. So now Billy gave it to Garrett. All right, we'll start the EOS part. Why is it not popping up? Try exclamation gone, see if it's taken anybody. Supposedly it's running, but I didn't see it pop up on the thing. There we go. It's going. Didn't pop up in stream, but it's taken people. And I'm assuming you still wanted that In God We Trust. Okay. Got a minute and a half to get those in. Right now we got Mike, Smoker, and New Marshall that still get to pick rounds. I'll start kind of going through some of these. While we're still waiting. I've still got Jackalope, mythical creature from where I grew up. Air Force, aim high, fly, fight, win. USS Constitution, a little bit starting to tone. COVID-19 2020 pandemic. Lincoln with wheat. One of the Bitcoin ones. Got a couple different kinds of those. I've got a buffalo with a mint on it. I've got an Indian with a buffalo. I've got a Merc dime with a mint on the back. I've also got a Merc dime with a regular thing on the back. I'm going to resume that. Got an Indian with the mint on the back. Got an 1836 seated with an eagle. 1907 Indian. A no date, or 1911 Indian. A no date Indian. Got peace dollar. I've got the seated, I think, is that a trade dollar? I can't remember. With a eagle. New Marshall says any Bitcoin. Alrighty. We got two, so let me grab those. It's Trump. That's Bitcoin. So I have two. I have the one on the left, a little more shiny, and the one on the right, It's like a computer circuit. So right, left, doesn't matter. That one. No colorized, I'm completely out now. I switched those up, I think, but yeah. It was that one, was that correct? Jackalope. Alrighty. That's for Mike. I still have one left of the jackalope. Now I can't remember which one of the lids was what. Let's see. 30 was that one. 31 is that one. So the one on the right, I think I showed you, it should be number 31. Unless you want 30, I'm just going to assume it's 31. Yeah, all my colorized are gone. Just released. I was 5 minutes behind. All right. Nope, we'll let AG in. He's already in. End of the regular stream. Can see AG, you were clear up here. Yeah. You can always enter it again. It'll only let you enter once. So there you go. Canadian Roll Hunter wanted to get in. There you go. You are in. I think that should be good enough time. Anybody that just came in should have gotten already in. Fleabag. I was just about to close it. I'll make sure you get in. Yep, you're already in. Okay. Maple Leaf's already in. New Marshall's now in. Okay. Pick winner. KJ. That's always funny when chat's saying stuff and whatever, and it's like, what are they talking about? Yeah, that's not a big deal there. If you enter and you get in and then say you didn't see it, take a 1911 Indian. Okay. It's 1907. I don't know why I put Smoker as the Bitcoin, because that was New Marshall. I think Smoker's not probably here, so if you're watching Smoker, your 50 likes, email me. Sweet. At least I got some tubes, but like I said, some of them are duplicate, but at least I have some more. Like now I have 2 Bitcoin, I have 2 St. Gaudens, I have 2 tubes of 1 St. Gaudens, a Year of the Dragon. You are welcome, Billy. Yours went out in the mail yesterday. So we will open a few quarters. I'll do at least a row. Like I said, I still gotta wrap some birthday gifts tonight. Yesterday I was getting the cupcakes frosted, so. Hey, that happens to me, Crafty. Thank you guys. Thank you to Jim Thompson for the 10 donated memberships. I need to work on some more emojis now. See you, BH. Hopefully your package doesn't take forever. See you, Crafty. And anybody else that ends up taking off, I understand. It's late where you're at, probably. Because it's only 8 o'clock Mountain, but if you're Eastern, you're already 18. BH is 11. Thank you, KJ. For you other ones, please, even though I'm sure I have your address, just please email me. Just helps me keep track of everything, but as I say, I know I've got KJ's address, and I got New Marshall's and Mike and Smoker and Christian. I think I've got all of your addresses. Sounds good. Thanks for coming. Get it bright and ugly, you be bright and I'll be ugly. So I was saying yesterday, I was talking about ties with my mom because I like the big, fat, thick, wide carpet ties that are like from the 60s and stuff, 70s, that are absolutely horrendous. About as thick as carpet, about as wide as, like, most ties are like that wide. Mine are like this wide, like twice the width. And I love them actually because they're so thick, fat, and ugly. And I said, kind of like me. Yeah, I don't do the really skinny ties, and the regular ties, just because I'm kind of bigger, they don't look great on me. I wonder if... Because I have an entire hamper full of ties. Like one of those tall hampers that are like 3 feet tall. Yeah, I have one completely filled. I can tie a tie in seconds. I was teaching my son, and Grandpa was showing him how he did it. And then I showed my son, and Grandpa was like, holy crap, that was fast. See, these are 3 that I had found one time. This one looks kind of like hand stitching, cross stitch, but it's not. So, yeah, those are the type of ties that I love. Big, thick, fat, ugly carpet type ties. So Grandpa was showing him, and then I showed him, and he was like, hey, IT, Indigenous. Yeah, I have a ton. Like I said, I have an entire hamper, like one of those 3-foot tall hampers, completely filled with ties. And even though I have hundreds, I probably have 300 or so. If I ever go to like a thrift store and I see one like that that's thick and fat and ugly, I still have to buy it. Even though I don't need it, I love them so much that I have to buy them. And of course, in thrift stores, when I find them for $2, I'm like, man, that's expensive. I love it when I can find them for $1. Even better when they're just given to me. I wouldn't say I collect ties, but I accumulate them. I do have very nice ties like Italian silk. You know, very, very nice stuff that would cost, you know, close to $100 in a regular store, like a suit store. But some of those I did trades for. Like I had a tie that someone wanted, that person had a tie that someone else wanted, and that third person had a tie, or he had the tie that I wanted, and they're like, but this isn't going to work out. I'm like, okay, we've got 3 ties. We've got 3 people. You want this tie, you want this tie, and I want this tie. Now, if we stick them in the middle and everybody takes one tie, how does that not work out? They're like, oh, yeah, I guess that does work. It's like, it's not that hard. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. There's one he wanted to trade me for one tie, and I wanted 2 of his, and he wouldn't trade for 2. So I said, okay, how about I throw in $5 and get these 2 ties also. So I paid $5, traded him 1 tie, and got 3. Yeah, I used to wear ties, long sleeve, shirt, whatever, every day for years, and then when I moved here, I wear polos and don't have to wear ties anymore. And the only time I wear ties are like on Sunday, and so that's why I don't wear them a ton. I could literally wear, even if I wore a tie every single day, I could wear my entire hamper and not be out of ties. I've got seasonal ties, I've got ugly ties, I've got nice ties, I've got skinny ties, which I don't use. I used to have some bolos. I don't think I have them in that hamper. They're from when I was a kid. Don't know if you remember bolos. That's what all the cowboys tend to wear. At least the old-time cowboys. Yeah, I just have to wear slacks and a polo or a button-up. So I just wear a polo every day. I have about a dozen different polos, so I can, depending on the color pants, because I have black, I have like a khaki tan, I have a navy, and I've got shirts that go with any of the color. Well, that's like back when A&W, they came out with a 1/3 pounder to compete with a 1/4 pounder. And no one was buying it. And so they did like a, one of those control groups or whatever, and people were saying, well, a 1/3 is less than a 1/4. And they're like, no, a 1/3 is more than a 1/4. And they're like, no, 3 is less than 4. And I was like, oh my hell. So people just hear 1/3 of a pound and they assume it's less because 3 is less than 4. And that was back when, I mean, what, 70s or 80s or whatever it was. So you have idiots back then too. that box kind of flew through tonight. It's not the greatest. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be like, oh, I've got I've got 12 cents. And they'll be like, but I owe you money. I'm like, but I can give you the 12 cents and you can just give me, $1. And they're like, but it's only this. And it's like, I know. You're going to give me 88 cents. I'm going to give you 12 cents. And instead of 88 cents, you give me $1. Because 88 and 12 is $1. I'm like, but then I'm giving you more. I'm like, just give me my money. And then I say, oh, can I get $1? And I hand them their money plus mine. And they go, oh, sure. Sometimes it's easier just to get the money and say, oh, can I just get $1 instead of all this change? So they fight you, but then you turn around and do the exact thing, and they're fine with it. That's what drives me crazy, is when that happens. Like I said, I might hunt more, but that's kind of the nice thing with doing quarters is you can do, 10 rolls or whatever and not have to do an entire box. So I did 10 last Thursday. This is the 10th tonight. Maybe I'll do 5, 10 more. Who knows? See you, Billy. Thanks for coming and giving back to Garrett, who gave to you. Jim's probably gone, but thank you, Jim Thompson, for the donated memberships. That's why I kind of moved the exclamation God to 1 exclamation God per night. Just kind of spread it. bring this over and we'll just see how many we end up doing. Almost 100% certain I'm not going to do the entire box. Night, Billy. Some nights you find more of one thing than others. And yesterday when I tried to post the stream, it kept failing and telling me error or something. See ya, Ed Marsh. Thanks for coming. So it literally took me like 7 tries before it finally accepted it. I even tried it on my phone. I tried it on different browsers. I tried everything. And it kept erroring. So I was like, I don't know what the crap's going on. But I guess YouTube's been kind of updating some things and have messed a few settings. I did do the lunch at work today. I don't always get the lunch there. It's only $4 for lunch at the hospital. But sometimes it's like I don't like that much, or I'm not hungry, or we are searching for silver, like silver quarters. We're searching for examples like proof quarters. Pulled that out of her roll one night. W quarters. Right there is a mint mark with the W. It's a 2020 because you can see that privy mark right there. So, and we're looking for I didn't pull this out of a box, but the tellers gave me this. It is a silver proof. You can really tell when you open a roll and you've got silver, it's either going to be silver or Canadian. Lunch, it's $4. Today it was California wrap. It was kind of like a garlic herb tortilla, and it had turkey and lettuce and like mayo, and it had tomato in it, but I took the tomato out. And it came with a bag of chips. It was $4. It was a good good sandwich. It just depends on what they're having. Some days it's stuff, it's like that, and other times it's like $74 new, only for, like, sometimes they'll have they have a regular menu too, and almost everything is $4 or $5. Like, you can get a hamburger for $4. Fish and chips or chicken strips, $4, and it comes with a fry or tater tot or Piccadilly chips or anything like that. Sometimes I will get a grilled turkey and Swiss or whatever cheese happens I feel like that day. Basically, it's a grilled cheese with grilled turkey sandwich meat inside, and that's $4.50 because I actually add bacon to it. Last week they had an orange chicken. They've had yeah, definitely. If you have his link, you can post it. I'll do this last roll, and then that'll be 25. And then we can head over to Coin Hunts, Texas. Don't think you can find. Okay, give me just a second. I will find it. I was gonna say, I saw it pop up on my thing, but of course I was streaming, so. It's good. Come on. No, that's me. I don't want me. Coin Hunts. There we go. It was in my notifications, so. So I'll finish these ones, and then we can head over there and yeah, Coin Hunts Texas is just kind of getting going on his channel, and we try to help each other out, post each other's channels, and like and subscribe and all that, because it's free. And he usually hunts pennies. Got a few spitting eagles we'll check. Nope. Nope. Got some die chips to check. So if you're not sure, there's a die chip in Washington's hat. I haven't found one for quite a while. I used to find a couple of them a box, but maybe they're all pulled out, or maybe they're just not there. Thank you, Garrett. $66 is a DDR.
I'm trying to get that down a little better. Right now it's whenever I have time, but once I hit a certain mark, I'm going to start getting on a little better.
1970 Denver has a DDO. And a DDR.
Small day. 25 grams, so it's zinc.
And 65s have DDO and DDR.
Appreciate that, man. This is for
Two coins left. All right, well, that's it. So head on over to Coin Hunts Texas. He's on. Help him out. And jumping in and say hi, and then we will be wrapping presents. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on Thursday. And you guys have a nice night.